feel you this morning, kiddos. Yes, I do. I feel you. It's like we're present and accounted for right here in this existential reality we call Earth. Oh, what a beautiful place to be, and what a great experience. Sometimes the tougher the better, but God, don't make it too tough, okay? Whew. We do have a penchant for making it difficult for ourselves when things could sure be a whole lot simpler. You know what I mean? A whole lot simpler. And that's kind of what's going on today. We've got the light of the full moon, man, out here this morning. And it's like, oh man, I need a sip of coffee. Full moon, yeah. Ah, that's good. Thank you, Mother Earth. And its energy, its light is intense. There's intensity in the air, in the atmosphere, charged by this energy, this appearance we call the full moon. It's just another little planetary body of its sort that's hanging there in the sky above us. And son of a gun, we like, it's intense. I don't know what else to say. It's just the last moon, the August moon. Man. I wasn't sure I was going to live through that one. Of course I knew it would. I was just kidding around. But it was intense, and it nearly took me all the way to the floor, man. I'm telling you. It was an experience, and usually when the moon's full, this old man's aglow. I feel it in my heart, and it helps expand something inside that needs to come out, that loving thing, that really decent human being, that person that I really am, that each and every one of us really are, that does a hell of a lot more than give a shit. You know what I mean? We care deeply and profoundly for one another because there's this recognition that we are one another, that within each of us lives the same heart. We know that, And that's who we really are. But now we're like in this state where we've forgotten that, We've left it all behind us, And chosen to feel ourselves as separated from everything for a while. And we've been through that story. We know how that's done, and we even know a lot of the why. So, this intensity we're feeling with these full moons, and in between too, it's that the Earth is undergoing an energetic change. And it isn't just the Earth, but the Earth gets a lot of it, It's being bombarded with beams of love, and the intensity of that love isn't really increasing. It's the same all the time, but our awareness of it, that's what's increasing. So we feel this love each day a little differently. Each day we become just a tiny bit wiser instead of being increasingly otherwise. We are human after all. And we're known for our high intelligence, but not for our ability to apply it. And that's because we've got away from that person. That's why we do stupid things all the time and judge ourselves for it, when the self really can't be blamed. But you're just an actor in a movie. You're in a play. You're not your real self right now. We've chosen, because when we rose into this duality thing, we chose a way to contain what was going to be the apparent conflict. between the two opposites. Because there's an end that attracts them, just like magnets, and there's an end that repels. And in this case, wants to destroy. It's a silly thing. But that's where you go when you're that separated from the true person that you are. Now, the intensity we're feeling is bringing us back from all of that. It's bringing forward the person that we are. Each and every one of us, in each and every form, and I don't care how low you go. You know, that's a good place to be. It's really testing of the soul, the heart, and even the spirit. You know, it pushes things to the limits, living low like that. Well, and living high like that too, in a different way. But each and every human experience has its elements of darkness and its unreality, its inability to think right because it forgot who it was. So it creates activities for itself that a lot of times are just superficial and fluff. And a lot of times it's to keep Cousin Joe busy because he don't have a job, you know, and you're working down at the agency, and why not get him on and get him doing something? Get him a paycheck so he can feed his babies, you know, stuff like that. But it's a different world that we're existing in. It's not anything like that. You know, here in this movie we've been tricked into believing a whole set of circumstances that just simply aren't true. But it's part of the game. It's part of testing our own mettle, as they say, taking us to these places that are extreme. But it's also about opposites overcoming the vision of opposite. We live in a blessed place. We're a very enchanted people. We're not in a prison. It's been called a prison a lot because there's energies that aren't allowed to leave here, and there's energies that aren't allowed to come here, and so forth. But it's not a prison. It's a playpen. It's a place where we learn each and every dynamic of ourself. You know, where we come in to get comfortable about that. You know, we separate the elements out individually. We create division. And in each lifetime we live through a different aspect of that element. So we're a different person in every lifetime that we are, you know. And so if you think you're Jesus, you probably were, you know, or somebody like that. And probably a person that had some great gifts and abilities at one time. But guess what? That's a different person than you are now. Even though you feel inside the same, you ain't the same. And each time you come in and be a new character in this play, you change. There's different beings associated with every life. And every life, because every life is testing of another aspect of yourself, examination, exploration, you know. So a lot of us have chosen in this lifetime, excuse me, I need a darn cough switch, don't I? A lot of us have chosen in this lifetime to get it over with. You know, finish it up, because we've done pretty much all those aspects. Of course, it's infinite. You can go on forever. The aspects of yourself never end. You know, it's an unending place. So really, we're just doing elements of it and getting through that. So we've chosen in this lifetime to go through some of the darker elements, to take these old energies that created such mayhem here and fear and death and corruption and crap like that, and turn it around, bring it home, help it understand the reason why it's destructive is because it feels separated from home. It feels the prison, not the free life, and it's pissed. And I would be too. I would be extremely upset. For a while anyway. If I felt like it could never go home again. You know, that just wouldn't work. Wherever home is, actually in here, so you can go there just about any time you want. But, yeah. It's a trip, kids. One vaster than we've ever imagined. Man, I tell you. But sweet. See, this is the underlying thing. Yeah. It's sweet. The intensity we feel, that's love. L-O-V-E. And not the well, it's kind of romantic, but it's not boy and girl or whatever. You know, partner on partner. It's not that. It's what creates us. What brings us into being and allows us to explore all these different aspects of ourselves and see what we can find out about ourselves and so on. It's that love. It's that energy. It's that life. It's that truth. Whew. It's big, babies. See, so what's happening? And the reason we're going such wild swings in personality and great emotion is we're letting go of dark stuff that we've held on to since almost the beginning of time, so to speak, but for a good long many generations in this particular dispensation of Earth. It has changed a few times, as we all know. We hear the stories and legends, but see, here's another change. You know, civilizations rise and fall. People gather together and they get too crazy and it falls apart, you know, because you lose touch with your center, your heart, the real person that you are, a magnificent human being, a spirit having a human experience, a human having a spiritual experience. I mean, it's all on the same level. And that's what we're becoming conscious of. We're losing the idea that it could be anything else. So all of our old ways, the ways that we've developed psychologically and, you know, I guess you'd call it spiritually, morally, whatever, to get along in this world. And I'm talking about just person to person, and let alone what you have to do to earn your money and go buy your groceries at the grocery store. Ain't many of us grow them out of the ground anymore, but sure getting back to it, thank goodness. But anyway, just, you know, to do that. Whew. It's an incredible thing, but it's all an activity of love, of truth. And there ain't any dishonor in any of it. But a lot of it we've created has been pretty darn cruel. But the love is here to fix all that and bring us home. To bring us out of this cycle of life and death and fear that creates it. So that life is ever living and there's nothing to fear anymore. Never really was. It's just an aspect we created. So let's go inside and take a look at this fear we hold in our hearts here, man. And see what's there. I mean, you know, what's there at the bottom of it? What's the truth inside of ourselves? Where is this intensity? Why are we going through so many emotional upheavals? Having cat fights when we wouldn't even normally say a cross word, so on, is like expulsions of incorrect assumptions, programming, in other words, that we've received from the environment and atmosphere around us, that we've accepted as part of our reality and our truth, you know, as far as getting along here. And now it's just time to let them go. And so you got to know you have them. So sometimes they come to the surface. And you act them out, and you notice the enormous stupidity in your behavior. And all the other fallacy that goes with it, because it is false. It's not you. Not in that sense. It is, but it ain't. It's a way, it's a program, it's an act that you've developed, and you didn't even know it. To get along in this world that's harsh and cruel, and I won't say dog eat dog, because it ain't that way to me, but that's, the way most people perceive it. I see it as people helping people. And just finding silly ways to do it, yeah. The infrastructure of this world's crazy, but it works. Just shows that underneath it there is a basic decency, a desire to do good for one another, even if we're the frickin' mafia. It's there. You're doing right by somebody. You know what I mean? In your humble opinion, we develop these personalities and the aspects of those personalities to get along here. But it ain't the truth. It ain't you, the person. It's an element, an act, a script that you're following, basically creating as you go, actually. But, fate will bring you to this moment of realization. Intensity helps fate fulfill its job. That's what we're going through. So, folks, just lighten up. Forgive yourselves. Come home to the heart. And let's be who we are. Let it happen. Notice the resistance. That's fear. See? Go back inside. Look at it. What's at the bottom of that fear? And down below the rage that comes out because of it. What's, it's separation. It's alone. It's an ache to go home. It's a heart that wants to open and never again close. It's the experience of life reminding itself who it is. And that there really ain't nothing to be afraid of at all. How you like them apples, huh? Now that's what we're here to experience. And that's only part of it. Now here it comes, babies. We rockin' and rollin'. And guess what? It's sweet. It's about as cool as a cucumber in the fridge, the back of the fridge, man. I mean, downright cool. Love you. Talk to you here real soon. Hope you enjoyed the front porch thing. That was kind of fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Strange things we do here in this life. Love you. It's truth.